general. That's the teeth naturally become yellower, and this can help bring them back to how they were many years ago.
At the top of the cheekbone, we want a little bit of a shine, and if we put it in, because our skin is lacking a little bit of luster, that's what's going to make you, give you that little bit of a glow.
I decided to do a few curls for her, just to give her a lift.
Voila.
Voila.
It looks like there's 3 layers here, but actually there's 4, and the 4th most important layer for Zoomers especially is the undergarments. There's nothing more important than a really good bra. So that Sonia has on.
From the Zoomerplex in historic Liberty Village, the Zoomer with Libby Znaimer.
Welcome to the Zoomer. I'm Libby Znaimer. When it comes to fashion and beauty, the mantra has always been about youth, whether it's clothing that's designed for and modeled on young bodies, or products that promise to make us look younger or reverse the signs of aging. The focus has been on a youthful ideal, but increasingly that's not what Zoomers want, and there has been some progress in fighting this cosmetic ageism. We've gathered a panel of experts to share all the latest tips and trends in Zoomer beauty, but before we dive in, let's tee up the topic.
They're active, they're healthy, and they have money to spend. It's the Zoomers. They dominate the marketplace and control 50% of all consumer spending. In the case of cosmetics and beauty, it's no exception. In fact, the share of spending on personal care products is 53%, which means they spend more on beauty supplies than millennials or Gen Xers combined. They also continue to drive brick and mortars, the storefronts that are the top shopping medium for Zoomers. And contrary to popular opinion, anti-aging isn't the top concern. While 38% of Zoomers say they're interested in anti-aging products, 60% go for products that make them look good and feel good.
Well, many people say the most beautiful thing about a person is his smile. And we are here with dental hygienist Kathy Wainwright of On-Site Dental Hygiene. And we have our volunteer, Richard LUMSDEN, who's getting his teeth whitened. Hi.
It's a good thing he has a bib on.
Okay, you talk for him.
Well, I've polished the teeth right now just to prep them for the whitening, and I have them the lips retracted from the teeth. We don't want any of the tissues to touch the whitening when I put it on the teeth. And so what I offer is in-home whitening services. I also offer in-home dental hygiene services. Whitening is just an added benefit. It's a great way to make your teeth look beautiful and white. Makes you look healthier, makes you feel more confident. And it's very easy when it's a home service. You don't need to go anywhere. I come to you.
And it's interesting, but your teeth yellowing as you age, that's a common thing in older people.
It is. It's all the things that we eat and drink throughout the day, whether you're a smoker, that is a huge contributor as well. And then just aging in general. That's the teeth naturally become yellower. And this can help bring them back to how they were many years ago.
Okay, so we're going to get to see a before and after.
Yes.
Okay. You take care there. Now I'm going to go back to the table and have a chat with our panel. All right, so let's get into some of the key issues for Zoomers. And Pam, when it comes to makeup, one of the things that I notice is that there are a lot of women who just stick with the same thing they've been doing for 30 years rather than changing it up.
Yes, I see that all the time. People get, stuck in a habit. Habit, I think, is probably the #1 issue. Their skin changes as well. Skin is huge. We want our skin to look wonderful even before the makeup. And our skin gets a little bit drier and crepier as we lose collagen along the way. And I would say those are the 2 biggest issues that we deal with. And there's lots of things that we can do to combat that.
Okay. And when it comes to clothing, a lot of people complain clothing isn't designed for a middle-aged body. It's designed for young people. How do you get around that?
Well, I think the first step is that as we age, to identify what body type we are. And so we can help you with that, because we tend to, as we age, gain weight or things shift around in our bodies. So and we try to shift them back, but it doesn't always happen that way. So it's to educating ourselves as to what body type I am, and clothes can help accentuate that. And as we age, we want to really try to balance proportions in our body by accentuating a waist, and we can do that with clothing.
Well, that's one of the key things, is usually your waist kind of goes.
Exactly, and we always tend to want to hide that and wear baggier and looser clothes, which is actually, we want to do the opposite. We want to accentuate a waist so your shoulders and hips look more proportioned.
Anything to add to that, Irene?
Yeah, and we do that with the way clothes are tailored, or for example, you'll see today a model come out with a bag that's draped over her shoulders to sort of create a waistline, an illusion of a waistline, with, even though she's wearing a little bit looser fitting clothes. So we have little tricks that we use in the styling world to be able to do that for you.
And Graydon, skincare.
Skincare is so important. I think a lot of people spend time nourishing their bodies and improving what they eat, but people forget that you can also nourish your skin from the outside in, and superfoods are a great way to do that, and we'll be talking about that.
Okay, and Fausto, hair.
The same as the skin, nourishing the hair. It's the same level as the skin and needs to be nourished. And I like the tricks with the accentuating and the illusion.
Because a lot of us,
manipulating
our
the
hair gets thinner as we
You know
get
what?
older.
But it's always about the face, right? So it's, again, creating illusions by manipulating certain areas, moving hair around here or there. It's like fashion, like MT was saying, you know, a flip of a cuff and that sends it off into another direction.
Okay, well, we are going to see those in action when we come back, when we show you the latest trends in skincare and makeup. Stay tuned.
Using a cleanser that is nourishing and will leave your skin hydrated is probably one of the best tips that I can offer.
Welcome back. I'm here with Graydon Moffat of Graydon Skincare and Pamela Cass, the owner of Bloom Beauty. And before we talk makeup, we have to start with your skin. So what are some of the issues that most of us develop as we age, and how do you deal with it?
Right. Sometimes we really don't spend enough time cleansing our face, and sometimes when we cleanse our face, we can strip our face. So actually using a cleanser that is nourishing and will leave your skin hydrated is probably one of the best tips that I can offer. I think we should try a little.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is our aloe milk cleanser, and this will just help to get a little bit of the debris off your face. Not that I'm saying you have a dirty face, but you know, we walk and we live in pollution, and so you can actually see that there's already a glow appearing. So that's the first step. And shall I go on?
Go on,
okay.
go on.
So I really like to save time. I think no matter what age we are, everybody is short of time. So if you can actually create a skin smoothie and combine the ingredients together, much like you would make a smoothie in the morning.
So what
for
are all those
breakfast.
things you're putting together
So
there?
we have a tinted primer and illuminator, which is a very subtle tint that is suitable for all skin types. We have a superfood serum, which is deeply hydrating. It's an oil-based serum. And our hero product, or I should say our heroine product, the Full Moon Serum, which is a water-based serum with all your youth-preserving. I really don't care for the anti-aging word because we're all aging and we just want to be the best version of ourselves. So here's an example of what a skin smoothie looks like. And I can just, may I? So just pat it into your face. Yeah. And actually, I'm going to give you some right on your hand so that you can actually experience it yourself. So you can feel it's a really yeah, pat and press. That's right. And it's really important to not forget your neck.
Yeah.
And your décolleté. And especially your hands, because our hands, actually, we all, I mean, I have some dark
So you
spots too.
pat instead of doing that
right.
kind
Well, this
of
is
thing.
very gentle. When we actually start to rub our skin, that's when redness and inflammation can happen, and that's usually not the look that most people are going for.
Okay,
Yeah.
your skin
I
looks
know.
beautiful
Natural
and
beauty.
and
Sorry, anyways,
sparkly
yeah.
now. So time for makeup.
Well, we actually do use a lot of prep from Graydon in the boutique, and we use that Star product, the oil-free one, and it does give that really lovely glow, whether or not you actually put the makeup on top. So I have that same product underneath here, and I would say just a little bit of a glow, which you talked about as well, which is always easy to do. So highlighter is your friend as we hit a certain age, but only in certain areas of the face. So a lot of people come to me, they don't want a very, highly frosted eye or anything like that close for me. So we want to keep the lid, when we're talking about the eyes, we want to keep the lid matte for the most part, because sometimes that shine or that glitter can sit into the lines a little bit. It can accentuate them, make it look a little bit, worse than it actually is. But up under the brow is a really wonderful place to have a little bit of light sort of pop out at you. So the top of the cheekbone here, I can actually, if you want, it would be a little bit of an area here sort of at the top of the cheekbone. We want a little bit of a shine, and if we put it in, because our skin is lacking a little bit of luster, that's what's going to make you, give you that little bit of a glow.
That's on top of a foundation?
So this would be, yeah, so if we're going to do a face, we'll talk about just a 5-minute face. None of us have a lot of time. We want to get in and out quickly. So that's complexion, a little bit of concealer. We have the foundation on now. We just chose a very, sort of neutral. It's not too matte. It's not too shiny. And then from there, we're going to want to do a little bit of concealer sort of under the eyes. If there's any little bit of darkness, you can also use the concealer if it's the right color as spot cover. And then we move on to the eyes. We'll sort of take out any discoloration in the lid, matte, as I said before, and a little bit of eyeliner. I like to tell people everything sort of drops a little bit as we get older, and we want to, especially with makeup in the face, we want to lift it up. So just like Graydon was saying, pat, we do the same thing with the skin, and we always sort of touch sort of from the bottom up, even around the eyes as well. We never want to pull it down. And in regards to makeup, if you remember a little trick with eyeliner especially, thicker to thin from the outside in, it's usually a general, a good general rule of thumb where you're not dragging the eye down. And if we have a little sort of imaginary line where we could draw from the corner of the nose to the corner of the eye, which is where the brow should end, this little imaginary line, we never want to take that liner, shadow, whatever you're dealing with, past that line down onto the face. That's what's sort of going to drag the look down as opposed to lifting it up. And also a little bit of flesh in the cheek is always really, really helpful. So,
and in general, as we age, less is more.
Always less is more, yeah, absolutely. I think that people make the mistake of, they have issues that they're dealing with, and all of a sudden they find that they want to put more on to combat that. But yeah, 100% right.
And,
less
and
is more.
One more thing, eyebrows are very in now.
Eyebrows are
heavier.
very, very in. Yeah, I have a lot of people coming to me. They thinned their brows out many years ago and they didn't grow back, which is what I hear all the time. So there's a lot of different ways. You can use a pencil, you can use a spool with a little bit of product in it. There's a million different products out there. Again, I like to personally sort of follow the natural brow. There are tricks that you can do where you sort of, where the brow starts, where the arch is. If you follow your brow and fill it in a little bit extra, you stay true to the color, especially if you're dealing with a little bit of a gray hair or white hair, you don't want them to stand out too much. And trend, next year maybe they'll be thin again. So, but yeah.
So what about all those people with the tattoos? What's it called? Microblading.
Microblading. So microblading actually has to be touched up every 12 to 18 months. So even if you microblade, it's not a true tattoo. It does fade away over time. Yeah.
Okay, thanks so much. When we come back, we'll discuss the best ways to care for your hair. That's next.
If you do bangs, it's all about the face, right? And how you move the hair around. If you close off this area with bangs, you're shortening the face. If you keep one area open, you're lengthening the face.
Welcome back. We're here with Fausto Fanone of FI Hair, the salon, and we want to figure out what Zoomers should do when it comes to caring for their tresses. Hi, Fausto.
Hi, how are you? Well, this is my model, Alice, and I've pre-done a lot of her curls already. What we wanted to do with her was give her a little bit of volume. And, but the main thing is, I want to say, when people shampoo and condition their hair, this is a big thing. Because I found her hair a little bit dry, and they're constantly over-rinsing the hair. So the hair has to be treated like the skin. If running water stays on it, you're just gonna run that hamster wheel. Getting a good leave-in conditioner or leaving some conditioner in it when you're rinsing your hair is good. Just think of it as treating it as the same as the skin. With her, she told me she'll wash it a couple of times a week. I told her to leave a bit more in, and she'll just kind of softly blow it, straight, just softly. And I decided to do a few curls for her, just to give her a lift, just to lift the hair. Any lift is always a lift. It's good. So I'm gonna just do a couple of quick pieces here just to show you with the blow dryer. And the reason I've chosen to do it this way is because you mentioned the fine hair issue with some of the boomers, right? Well, with doing it with the iron, it's more of a press, but doing it with the hot air gives it a bit more, expansion. It swells the hair shaft. So I'm just going to do this quick for you just to show you how easy. Just wrap it up, give it like 1 second. I'm using a nice little brush here. Nice little brush. A ceramic brush, and just kind of release it. And it creates this kind of curl. And again, it's the, sorry.
Voila.
Voila. So the hot air versus the hot steel. So in situations where you have finer hair, you might want to opt for using a blow dryer, right? To give it that swelling of the hair shaft so it's more natural looking. And I find that the Zoomers, boomers, a lot of my clientele is in the, and we want that softness. They want that little bit of more natural look to it.
We just heard about a 5-minute face. Is there a 5-minute hair? I know I hate messing around with my hair.
Face is all manipulation with the hair. Anything you do, it's like...
5 minutes? Can I do it in 5 minutes?
Yours? Your hair? Can I do your hair in 5 minutes? Absolutely.
No.
Yeah, you can do it. Yeah, you can do it. You soften it, blow it a little bit, put some product, This is probably 5 minutes. I don't know. This won't take 5 minutes. This is about 15, 20 minutes, maybe.
Beautiful.
Yeah, but the thing is, again, with, if you do bangs, it's all about the face, right? And how you move the hair around. If you close off this area with bangs, you're shortening the face. So illusion, right? If you keep one area open, you're lengthening the face a little bit. So anytime you make it shorter, it gets wider, then you would have to move some hair away to allow for that. Bring some hair down through this area. Just little things you can do. And I'm just gonna shake it out. Just very simply like this. And hopefully I won't get any hair on anybody. A little short here. And just very softly. That's what we're looking for. We're looking for that natural look. The Zoomers want to be natural. They have access to everything. They have access to so many different cultures, and ideas. See? Just like that. That's one way of doing it.
Great.
I want to do more, but it's hard. It's difficult.
When we come back, we'll take a look at some of the hottest looks hitting the runways for Zoomers. That's next.
This is what I was mentioning earlier about having a bag across here to create an illusion of a waistline when sometimes we start to lose it a little bit. So I think you look fabulous.
Welcome back. I'm here with MT Meikle, the founder of La Closet, and her partner, Irene Kim. And let's start with some of the hottest looks for Zoomers. Let's bring out our first model.
Great, thank you.
Hi, Sonia. This is Sonia. And Sonia is wearing a gorgeous winter white look. Her base layer under here is a silk shirt, a white silk shirt and jeans, which many of us would probably wear in the summertime, right? We'd wear a nice, simple, breezy outfit like this, maybe throw on a straw hat, some sandals. But what we've done is made sure that we've been able to transition it into winter, right? To make some use out of our wardrobe. So what we've done is added a cable knit sweater on top, and we've even added a third layer, sorry, which is this macage boiled wool jacket. I want to say, though, it looks like there's 3 layers here, but actually there's 4, and the 4th most important layer for Zoomers especially is the undergarments. There's nothing more important than a really good bra. So that Sonia has on. And we've also paired it with tan boots. So this whole outfit can be found at Andrews at Yorkville Village. Thank you very much, Sonia.
Thank you. And Peter, here we have Peter. Now, you'll never know that Peter's sporting a t-shirt look because underneath 4 layers, Peter's wearing a basic, beautiful t-shirt from John VARVATOS. And on top of that, we have a down-filled vest, BELSTAFF, a man's staple in the closet for winter. And then we have layered on top of that a beautiful sports jacket by John VARVATOS. And this sports jacket can be taken you from the office to evenings and to weekends. So we have a beautiful pair of denim, again, John VARVATOS. And then a beautiful detailed velvet coat. Again, a coat that can be versatile from the office to weekends to evenings. And a beautiful accessory. Now, again, and the boot as well as in John VARVATOS. So 4 looks into layers. And as we age, people want to avoid layering, thinking, it's going to make them look bigger. But again, it's using it in different angles and different shapes and all the same textures makes a perfect look. Thank you.
Next model is Kathy. Kathy is wearing an elegant look that maybe you'd be wearing to work, or maybe you're going out for lunch somewhere. And the base layer of this is a crisp white oversized shirt with a sumptuous chocolate brown leather pant. So this is a white oversized shirt, which I know everybody has in their wardrobe that they wear with jeans or skirts. And here, in this case, this one is very beautiful with this lovely detailing on the sleeve. It is by Fabiana Filippi. So what we've done to make it winterized is, again, we've thrown on this gray sweater on top, and we've layered it, again, with a mustard-colored coat by Eileen Fisher to create a nice warm palette with the browns. And the key here, what we've done is we've added 2 accessories. So the bag with the print across the chest, right here, the strap, that ties all the rest of the colors in the outfit, as well as the hat. You can see the gold tones, the brown tones in the fur hat that's keeping you warm. And this is what I was mentioning earlier about having a bag across here to create an illusion of a waistline when sometimes we start to lose it a little bit. So I think you look fabulous. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Peter. So Peter's mood, when he put this look on in stores, went to exceptional. Oh. He loved this kind of rocker look. And we start off again with 3 layers here. So we have a waffle long sleeve knit t-shirt. And how many men have this t-shirt that they wear around the house? Well, pull it out. Layer it with a classic denim shirt. Now, these looks from Peter are John VARVATOS. And This, on top of that, we have a beautiful sports jacket. This sports jacket matches the boots perfectly, and with a beautiful pair of denim. Now, again, you can take this off. Men usually wear this denim shirt on their own. We'll layer it up, take it out, and you have all these different types of looks and denim. So all this can again be paired with a pair of slacks. And all these again are found at the Nanny BELSTAFF store in Yorkville Village. Thank you.
And our next model is Wendy, and Wendy is wearing a very statement outfit that she might want to wear on a very special night out for dinner or to a party. And she's wearing, what we've done is put all these textures and colors into one outfit, which normally you hear have one statement piece. We've put it all together, and yet we feel like this has made a really beautifully textured composition, and we just love it so much. So she is wearing a stretchy faux leather crocodile print kind of jean, a leather pant, and we've layered it with a kind of a sparkly rust-colored sweater with a V-neck. This is by Fabiana Filippi again. The jeans are by Frame. This blazer, which has the rust and the blue coming out of it, this is Missoni, beautiful. And we've topped it off with this incredible showstopper, this fur, this fur long vest by Suprema. And so we wanted to show this as a way, because we know you could wear this vest, for example, with jeans and maybe a white shirt, but we wanted to show it with all these other colors and textures to show that it can be done. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Paul. So here we have Paul wearing the classic kind of winter coat, and this coat by Corneliani, again from the BELSTAFF Nanny store in Yorkville. Now, underneath this coat, we have again the man's staple, the down-filled puffy vest. And again, these vests can be worn over sports jackets, and this vest is by BELSTAFF. A man's staple, again, scarves. Easy way to accessorize your looks. And then we have a Paul and Shark blue long sleeve sweater. Again, the sweater can be worn underneath the sports jacket at the office, and again with denim. Beautiful pair of pants, and these pants from Alberto and swim shoes. Again, we have 3 different layers, adding an accessory. And there we go. Thanks, Paul.
Okay, so take a look at all of our wonderful models. And when we come back, we'll check in with Kathy and Richard to see how the teeth whitening went. And we'll take some questions from the audience. That's next.
One of the cardinal rules that I like to tell people is you never want your teeth to be whiter than the sclera or the whites of your eyes. It can look unnatural that way. So we do like to have a more natural result.
Welcome back. It's time to take questions from our audience, starting with Lucy. Hi, Lucy.
Thank you, Libby. Hi, how are you?
Great. Go ahead.
Okay, my question is, how do you get rid of these dark shadows sometimes underneath your eyes? And sometimes there's a bit of swelling and all that. Mine is not so bad. This question is almost for my sister, because I always keep bugging her. Why do you have these dark shadows? Oh, no, it's part of getting old and all that. So that's my question.
Sure. Okay, I think probably both Pam and I can address this.
Yes.
Dark circles are really tricky. There's a genetic component with dark circles. There's no easy fix unless you want to go to your dermatologist and actually get some work done, which is not everybody's first choice. Certainly keeping your skin well hydrated, and not to self-promote, but the Face Glow product is a really good start. And then I would suggest a sheer natural under-eye concealer, which Pam can tell you all about.
So as far as under eye, there's 2 different issues, and you mentioned both of them. So one of them would be darkness, and the other would be the puffiness. Now the problem is when you're dealing with the puffiness, most people take a concealer, they use a shade that's typically the same color as their skin, or maybe 1 shade lighter, and sort of put it on under the eye, and that's it. What happens when you do that to a puffy under eye Lightness comes out at you and darkness recedes. So when we're taking a product that's light and putting it on the puffy, it makes it even puffier. So it's typically one of the biggest mistakes people make is getting a concealer and adding it. So what you want to do is you only want to put a very light color, one shade lighter than your natural skin tone, and you're going to, less is more. Less is more. Do not put a lot of concealer everywhere. Just a very little bit, even if you use a brush, sometimes it makes a difference. Right in the corner of the eye, only on the darkness, and never ever on the puffy area. If you want to, typically on the puffy area, there's a little bit of a dark line underneath the puffy area. That's a good place if you could use a brush just to very, very carefully put it in that little line. And that's it. Pat it and no powder.
Thank you.
Yep. Hope that helps.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next we have Janie. Hi.
Hi. When I was younger, I was very lucky. I had good skin, and I basically just put eye makeup on and left. Now my skin's not so good, but I'd like to just do things that are quick and easy and look like I looked maybe a few years ago. So what would you suggest?
I would suggest actually starting with really great skincare. Okay. And I tell everybody that. We start all of our appointments like that. I really do believe that that makes the difference always with the makeup. I would say that something a little lighter and dewier is probably preferable. Like I said before, just a little bit of like a 5-minute face. Typically, you're going to want to start in the middle of the face. 1 minute on complexion, 1 minute under the eyes with the concealer, like I just said. Also, you want to smooth the skin out on the top of the eye. It makes a huge, huge difference, especially if you're wearing glasses and you have bold glasses. I still want to see your eyes underneath the glasses. So lighter, actually. You might want to do a lot of lashes. That would be one of the 5 steps as well. But a lighter matte lid, and that'll sort of pop out underneath the glasses. A little bit of the rosy we put back in the cheeks. So everybody has a little bit of a sort of a fat pad in the cheek, and if you smile a little bit, it pops right out. A little bit of pinkness there, gloss on the lips, that's it.
And is there some type of skin product where you can, instead of putting morning serum and evening serum and et cetera, like?
There is.
Okay.
I would also like to address the concept of there's dry skin and there's dehydrated skin. And when our skin is not properly hydrated, we're not going to look our best. So you want to use a product that both offers you water-based hydration, something that's hydrophilic, and then something that is rich in oils. And it's really the combination of the water and oil that will leave you with this dewy, moist look that actually just helps you to look better. So whether it's my line, Graydon Skincare, or another line, and gladly there's lots of skincare out there, I would just choose something that is both water-based and oil-based, and often put them together just like I did in the little skin smoothie. You have permission to do that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, I think you look fantastic.
Thank you.
But don't underestimate a little bit of a lighter color as well.
Yeah.
That illusion too, right?
Thank
Sometimes
you.
the hair color too.
I agree. Thank you.
You look great.
Thank you, Janie. And now, before we go, let's check in with Kathy Wainwright of On-Site Dental Hygiene and Richard Lumsden.
There we go. So in the time that we've been here, I was able to get him 5 shades lighter. We don't want too drastic of a result. One of the cardinal rules that I like to tell people is you never want your teeth to be whiter than the sclera or the whites of your eyes. It can look unnatural that way. So we do like to have a more natural result, and I just saw 5 shades is pretty good, and we can get him even whiter if he wants to get them whiter. We can do another session. And what I love about the product that I use, it doesn't cause any sensitivity.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, that's a big one. I've used it on myself, and I can't use other whitening products, and I was fine.
And how did you measure how many shades lighter it was?
I have a shade guide. I should have brought the whole thing, but this was the before and after of their little false teeth of different shades.
And how much does it cost?
I charge $200 for the service, and it takes between an hour and 15 minutes to an hour and a half. It's 1 hour under the light, and it's 2 15-minute sessions and then 1 30-minute session. I use 2 different types of peroxide. We call it bleach, but it's really hydrogen peroxide and another product called carbamide peroxide. The hydrogen peroxide is what acts the fastest, and that's what gets you the really nice, brilliant white result. The carbamide peroxide penetrates the tooth a little bit better and makes the whitening last longer. It also doesn't contribute to sensitivity. So I think that's the key that allows the whiteness without the sensitivity, especially on someone like myself that can't whiten my teeth otherwise.
And it's all in one session?
It is, yes. I wipe off. The product only lasts for so long. You can keep it on for hours and hours. It stops working after a certain amount of time. So after 15 minutes, I wipe it off, I reapply, put the light on, and then I take it off again after 15 minutes, use the different product, and then it's a half-hour session, and then we're done.
Okay, Kathy, thanks so much. And Richard, you're looking really good. And when we come back, final thoughts from our panelists. That's next.
On another episode of The Zoomer, we discussed seniors' health care. Mary in Burlington called in to Zoomer Radio's Fight Back with Libby Znaimer to give her opinion on health and long-term care.
Long-term care has become commercialized, over-commercialized. Unfortunately, it's the elderly who now have to pay the cost. It's a crying shame. After doing what they've done for their country, they must now be dragged through the mud and belittled due to lack of help for them.
Another time on The Zoomer, we spoke about scams. Aaron writes on Twitter, "There is an epidemic of fraud out there. These people are very cunning and especially evil, since they do not care how many people they steal from. Be wary of the wolf in sheep's clothing. Hashtag beware of scammers." Earlier this season, we also discussed advancements in technology. On Twitter, Jill writes, "My new smartwatch is fantastic. It tracks all of my daily activities, and it has a feature to track my distance when I run, bike, and even swim. Hashtag FitTech." We've also explored the subject of hosting solo. Brian wrote on Facebook, "Don't think of it as a chore. It's simple if you make it simple. My go-to when having people over, board games. Everyone loves a little friendly competition." Another episode of The Zoomer focused on physical fitness. On Facebook, Marshall writes, "When I was younger, I wasn't interested in sports, but now, as I get older, I really see all the health benefits of being active. There's a sport out there for everyone. Mine is tennis." Keep the comments coming in. And connect with us on Facebook, Twitter, and via email at rsvp@zoomermedia.ca. Don't forget, for free tickets to the show, go to www.universe.com and search Zoomer Media, and log on to www.thezoomertv.com for full episodes and more.
Welcome back to The Zoomer. It's time now for some final thoughts from our panelists, starting to my left.
Well, I think for makeup, less is more is the rule that we're going to walk away from this with, and the fact that there are really no true rules. Makeup is an art, and it's there to make us feel good and hide the little things that we don't love about ourselves so much and help us bring out the things that we really do love. So, you know, use it, have fun, go to a professional and let them help you, and yeah, and don't be afraid of it.
So I think for us, as we age, we get really self-conscious of our bodies because they're changing. And we want to look in our closets and feel great. And how do we start as we age is identifying our body types. Our body types will be different from when we were younger. And once we are just guided as to how to dress for that, which we can, then we feel better about ourselves.
And versatility, you know, don't be afraid to take those pieces that you wore in the summer or those year-round pieces and turn them into winter pieces by using layers as we discussed today.
Okay. Kathy?
Well, one of the easiest ways to make yourself look better and feel healthier is to just have a tooth whitening. It really does make someone look better instantly, and it can make them feel better about themselves as well.
I think my message would be to remember to nourish your skin from the outside in and feed it with great plant-based superfoods. And I would encourage you to actually read your ingredient labels and look for identifiable words that are like real food. So some of my favorite Canadian ingredients would be broccoli, raspberry, blueberry, things that you easily identify and that you probably eat in your regular diet. And if you go to Pam's store, you will see a plethora of great brands and safe ingredient lists.
Okay, Fausto.
Remember to nourish your hair, condition your hair properly, make sure you leave a little bit in, get a nice shaping. Remember that it's all about the face, working through the hair to get to the face, and it's okay for all the ladies, nanas, grandmothers, boobies, to be beautiful. It's great to be beautiful, and it's all about the love.
Okay. And before we go, we have free gift bags for everyone in the audience, courtesy of Pam and Graydon. And ladies, why don't you describe what you've brought? Lots of applause for that.
Each bag is filled with a full-size product from Graydon, some of the skincare, a little bit different in every bag, but cleansers, moisturizers, toners, and they're beautiful. Yeah, all plant-based, wonderful.
Thanks, Pam.
Yeah.
And Libby. It's great to be here.
Fashion and beauty are great ways to express ourselves and to show the world that we are still with it, whatever our age. The good news is there are more options for Zoomers all the time. Have fun with it. Thank you for being with us. We'll see you soon. It's time to zoom out.